Jacobe, over to your right here, in the front row to your right. Kind of was thinking maybe Daniel was just, pumping up the Cowboys when he was talking about you, but you obviously proved to be the real deal. When he's telling you, saying, "Hey, you can do all these great things and you can be another Khabib," right? How do you process that? Like, because it's hard for a beginning MMA fighter, I would think, to imagine yourself people comparing you to Khabib already.
It's an honor, I've been in there with Khabib, and it's like walking into a tornado pretty much, so it's absolutely an honor. But I know the hard work you have to put in to get to that level, and I don't shy away from that, and I'm expecting everything that comes with it.
So how far away do you think you are as you sit here today to what your peak would be as a fighter? Like, are you 5 fights? Are you a couple years? Like, how long away are you, do you feel?
I don't think it's a fight thing. It's a commitment thing for me. You give me 6 months for me to really hone in on certain areas in my game where I know that I need to work on, and I'll be ready for anybody 6 months to a year. It doesn't matter.
And the last thing I just want to ask you was, you saw the Bo Nichols saga, right? And, a great collegiate wrestler and everything. Did you feel in his last fight at UFC 300, he was fighting his most experienced opponent? Did we see the change? Like, did the level of opponent, maybe slow the hype train a little bit, in your opinion?
No, I think you see him just in there adapting, because being a wrestler, you learn to adapt to things on the fly, because it's such a beautiful but brutal sport that things can hit you smack dab in the face, and you better be ready to react or respond in the manner. In most cases, with him being a 3-time champ, a badass, he can very well respond. Great.
And let me just throw one other question at you. How long have you dreamed of fighting MMA? And then secondly, of course, fighting in the UFC. Has it been a thing for a long time, or is this a more recent thing?
It's been a thing for a while. Obviously, my first dream was to be in the NFL. My dad played football growing up, made a lot of money doing that, and that was my dream, but I was small. I didn't get over 150 pounds until I was a grown man, and once I decided to wrestle and had success in that, I just took off with that. And then obviously you piece the puzzles together, and fighting and wrestling kind of go hand in hand, so I just went with that. Congrats. Thank you.
Jacobe, in the fight, you landed this takedown where you put your knee on his knee, and it kind of twerked him. Of course, the internet was freaking out about it, but for people who don't know wrestling, what is that?
It's kind of a breakdown. You go freestyle wrestling, you go body lock, you try to get them to their knees. They got that tripod real strong, and you can't get them to break down, so you get to chopping at their knees, and it cracked, popped, and I mean, not to be evil or nothing like that, but it's a fight business, it's the hurt business, and once that happened, I kind of ran with it. And
yeah, there was a post saying that, like, oh, it's fine in a fight, but if you did that in the practice room, he'd be kicked out. And then Ben Askren came to your defense, was like, well, yeah, well, he did it in a fight. So
yeah, in a fight, obviously, we take care of each other in our gyms at home. I mean, obviously, there's some gyms, you get Sean Strickland, that'll mess you up. You come in, and I mean, there's an understanding at our gym, and we not in there to kill each other. We in there to iron sharpens iron, pretty much,
Speaking of the gym, can you talk about your move to Fortis and how it's improved your career?
It's improved my career greatly, mainly being able to be around my family. I'm from Oklahoma, and my wife was working at the hospital in Oklahoma, and I was traveling back and forth from California to Oklahoma. So I trained for 2 months, come home, fight, and get to stay home for a month and have to do that over and over, and it got tiring, and I just decided to compromise and meet somewhere closer towards home to where we could both be together, and family was just an hour away, And what better gym than Forest MMA?
On the regional scene, there was a few times where you were complaining about the matchmaking and people pulling out, and like you weren't getting those opponents. Are you happy that now that you're in the UFC, more than likely fighters aren't going to pull out and you're going to be consistent in fighting?
Absolutely. The motivation is skyrocketed. You know, you don't have that. Maybe you're not going to fight. You're not going to get that paycheck when this is what I'm relying on. You know, I can't go get no job and do all this, you know, because I'm a stay-at-home dad pretty much. My wife is the breadwinner, and I'm trying to change my family's life. I'm trying to do something big for her. I don't want her, you know, I want to homeschool my kids, you know. I want to bring my family closer together. They don't really get to see each other much, and I'm the guy to do that. I can do it, and that's my plan, and I'm going to do it.
And finally, for me, can you talk about your last celebration at Fury FC '89, where you jumped up?
Absolutely. I just feel like it wasn't enough in there. It was 18 seconds, and it was done, and I'm just like looking around like, man, what can I do? Go do another backflip. And when I went, I didn't have my footing, you know, and just slipped, and it went from there.
Awesome. Congrats.
Thank you.